Hey guys, it's Harvey and welcome back to the channel. And today we're taking a look at A1R Design Bureau's latest release. This is the Ryan Sport Coupe. Now this aircraft, of course, was brought out by the Ryan Aeronautical Company in around 1937. And it's a three-seater, low-wing monoplane. As I mentioned, also got used in the US Army Air Forces as the L-10. Now, it was powered in this particular version, the SCW, which is modeled for us here, with a Warner Super Scarab radio, putting out 145 horsepower, 108 kilowatts, I should say. Max speed is about 130 knots, so actually quite quick for its type at the time. And we could get a cruise speed of this thing at about 117. Stall speed, 39 knots. Range is about 450 nautical miles. So you can see fixed gear, two-blade prop here on a radial engine for this variant. And we've got fixed gear with the pants. She doesn't have traditional flaps, although she does have a spoiler/air brake under the fuselage. We'll show you that when we're going. So it's two in the front. Technically you could fit two kids in the back, but it's typically 3 adults, would be weight-wise. Costs £15. Not very expensive. It's available on the marketplace. At the moment only, I believe. And you do get a number of liveries. Pretty simple stuff. We've got a couple of military ones and a couple of civilian ones. No major drama. Not a bad looking little aeroplane. Texturing and modelling, I will say, is on the rather nice side, actually. I actually quite appreciate the fact the cylinders are numbered there. It's actually in the actual casting, which probably would have been realistic, so that's quite a nice little note to include. Now, one thing these guys have always done is really pretty detailing on the actual aircraft fuselages. This is 2020 native, but it's compatible with 24. Hence why we have fixed pilots in here, so not that compatible, because obviously supporting 2024 aircraft in 2020, 2020 native that support 24 properly can support the pilot figures. Now, they have released recently the Mini-Imp, the SH2, the Chilton, and the STA Special, so vintage and some weird stuff have been out from these guys. Top of the cockpit here. Now, this is First Flight by Orbx, in case you recognise the airport. This one came up to 24 support, and if you bought it in 2020, you can get it for free in 2024, as is S43 Harvey, which we have today as well. So, typical, very simple aircraft to operate. Canopy there, 2 little back seats there, not a lot of room, so definitely kids. Very simple up front. Not a lot going on with a starter, master, generator, fuel pump. These are avionics. Here's our mag. For modern flight convenience, we have got here a pair of modern radios. So we could turn that on for a transponder. And we have a radio right here. Avionics, pitot, landing position, strobe lights, and panel lights. We'll put this on for a quick look-see-doodle. See what she's like at night. Can you tell there's not a huge amount for me to show with this aircraft? Okay, so it's mostly just illumination of the instruments, basically, is what you're going to get with this. Nothing really else to illuminate. Let's go back to the light time. Flashbang for you, I do apologise. So, very simple period type aircraft we have here. So let's make sure everything is ready to rock and roll. And we have our throttle ready to set there. Now, that could be our... Actually, I think that is actually the carb heat, so we'll leave that there for now. Alternator and battery are on. Avionics onto the thing. Our fuel tanks are down here. Now off and off is there. This is our usage position is down. So those are both off, those are both on. Fantastic. That's our trim here. And this is our flap. So this is what I mean by a rather interesting flap system, because this is what we've got. Yeah, with holes in it. Basically a dive brake of sorts. But 1937, it's essentially as a dive brake. So we might actually try it out on the run as we fly today. So let's get it started up. It's real simple. Put our fuel pumps on. And we'll hit that starter. Clear prop. Parking brake there. Now let's pull this close, shall we? Sound change difference, of course, between inside and outside. I do like the aircraft sounds for this. The aircraft engine sounds are rather nice. They're definitely unique for this little engine. So we get a very unique sound there, especially with the canopy open as well. Those are fully retracted. Let's make sure that is definitely set. Ooh, that's a nice little burble we've got going on. I like this. So she's not got a lot of features. It's a very simple vintage aircraft, which is always a good thing. Because sometimes you want a little bit of vintage when it comes to aircraft in the sim. Especially you've got nice places to see and to visit. That's quite enjoyable. Would I like to, with it being this simple, to have more compatibility on 24? Yes. It would have been nice, but I can understand it. And at least does work. Okay. Now, we're not deploying those flaps for takeoff because they're basically an air brake, so... Just us lined up here at first flight. Oh, that's nice. Oh, tail comes up quite nicely, and she's very light on the controls already, and she's up and away. Impressive. I like this. Pull our power out there. Do a quick 180 round or 360 round the airfield here. Let's just see how she wants to play. And we will go exterior for you. Sounds going to be a bit heavier on the outside, I think. Ah, there's the field. And there's the racetrack behind it. Engine sounds a little on the quieter side at exterior. But it's certainly not terrible. It's a very pretty looking little aeroplane. Almost squished. Oh god, inside this is good. A lot of aircraft suffer internally for their sounds. I wonder what she's like with the canopy open in the air. That feels positively vintage. I love it. Racetrack down there. And there's the airfield we just took off from. So our trip here is really easy. We follow the railroad right there. It's about a 5-minute drive or a 5-minute flight. We're in the air, not on a road, to Harvey, which is an airport that's packaged with this one. So if you don't have either of these from Orbx, they're really cheap and they're very worth it. Two rather nice little GA fields. And I'll give us a chance to kind of kick the tires on this thing. Follow this sort of through the river. Railroad line down there. And the river's just up ahead of us, you can see it, so not far at all. And no, she is not a complicated aircraft in the slightest, but she's pretty fun looking. It's got great visibility, really nicely made, simple but excellent modelling detail. So if you wanted something for a reasonably quickish cruise for the period, and I say quickish by these kind of small GA types, in the 30s, you really were getting these kind of aircraft. You weren't getting the same speeds as you would be post-war, where Ryan went on to do the Aviation, etc. So, 120-ish cruise? Not terrible, to be fair, given what Cessnas will put out in the post-war years. Okay. Turn off the instrument lighting there. Let's try those air brakes, shall we? Big air brake. Like a dive bomber now. But there's the river in the airport ahead of us, so we should be fine. But look at this thing. We are almost going 45 degrees down. And we're not quite exceeding 100 knots yet. But it works. Not passing 120. She can take a fair bit with this. Yeah, those are definitely dive brakes rather than flaps. Pull that up there. Not bad in the slightest. It's a very pleasant little flyer, to be honest. It took off very easily. No real effort on my part there. Just leapt into the air. The sounds are lovely. It's a real thump of the little radial there. It's quite a joy to hear. A good engine sound makes an aircraft, in my opinion. And there's £15 release, about $20. It's right in that sweet spot for what I will pay for an aircraft in these sort of conditions. No, it hasn't got any systems depth or craziness, no extra features. Honestly, if it did go 24 native at some point and came with the various walk-around features and shocks and things, I'd actually be sold. That'd be basically done. That'd be a perfect release. Is it perfect as it is? Not quite, no. But it's not bad. Is that baseball fields? There's baseball fields down there. So there's our airport below us. The railroad bridge and the lumberyard. Okay, so we'll come across midfield and then we will set up for our approach and run in. Join the downwind there. Lovely bit of the Pacific Northwest to fly in here. And I will say aircraft like this are fantastic for this kind of flying. Low and slow general aviation flying in pretty scenery areas. And I don't think anybody can ever accuse the Pacific Northwest of being ugly to fly in. It feels like I'm practically floating like this. The field's below me, I'm always positive. Because the highway's there. Yes, there's a balloon. And an aircraft on the hold short, I think. Oh, they're taking off. Okay. So keep eyes on him. Well, that's just taxied through a highway. I don't know if that's an animated aircraft or an AI. But that's just taxied through other people. This might be the first time I actually have to do this. I don't think I have any AI aircraft turned on. I don't want SeaTac, I want Harvey. And I think that's going to be over there. Oh, that's not starting working. Oh, well. Oh, it is now.
4 tree traffic. November 40 tree Sierra X-ray. 1 mile south. 1,200 feet. Inbound land. Runway 15 right. Sierra.
Quick 360 gives me a little bit of time for that plane to get out of the way. It's untowered, so as long as he's not on the runway, we should be okay. Let's put one of those 2 of those notches of the air brake out. I don't see him down there, so we should be okay. I've never seen an airplane there before because I don't have them turned on. Nor do I have multiplayer, so quite bizarre. Okay, 3rd notch there. It definitely helps slow you down quite nicely. And I hear nothing on the frequency from that aircraft, so as an AI it's not exactly talking either. So full on the air brakes coming down. Doing 80, so we're actually quite fast given it can stall at half this. We'll see how quickly she bleeds off speed here as we level out. Oh. We're using a part of the runway here just to kind of float down the entire thing. Okay, can we touch down now, please? That'd be lovely. You don't even want to touch down deep. Nope. I need to come in a lot slow. That's power lines. Okay, less faffing around. More flying the plane properly, shall we? Speed 60, so we're okay. Much, much slower. Way too fast. This thing, and I had a full air brake out there. This thing does not want to stop on that. And here, nothing on the radio from the AI, so I must be imagining that. Okay, so we're good here. Much, much slower, remember? That's a lesson to learn. I've never flown this before, so... Boy, she floats, even with the flap fully out there. Okay, 1 notch out. Okay, powers to idle. We're at 60 here, so I'm going to bring her around and start descending. The engine sounds are delightful. I'll give it that. Really, really nice engine sounds. It feels very alive. Full on those air brakes. She's not slowing down great right now, but we are slower. Okay, turn final. Coming down to 60. Okay, we're a little bit better off here. But not by a lot. Still quite fast. Little bit of a slipsy doodle. Burn off some of that speed. That's nicer. Little bit of a float and let her settle down. Gently. Did I touch down? Not yet. Oh, I have. There's just no tyre sounds. Okay. Interesting. Oh, hello. Sim got a little bit momentary there. So, okay, so that's weird. There's no tyre sounds. I thought I hadn't touched down the first time around. Maybe I had and I just bounced, but there's nothing in terms of sound from the tyres. That's very strange. And it's high on my list of bizarre features in a sim aircraft, because even stock aircraft you could hear them touch down, and I heard nothing there. Dead silence. That's why I thought I'd actually floated, not touched down initially. There we go. So, excuse my atrocious flying. It's about 2 in the morning right now. Faffing with radios when I should be paying attention and coming in too fast. But definitely want to land this quite slowly, otherwise it will float. Even though at 60 it was on the floaty side. So that stall speed of around 40 suggests around 50 might be ideal. Perfect.
Sierra 4 tree traffic. Generic November.
Yep, there is one, see?
15 Sierra Foxtrot. 1 mile southeast.
No one wants to care about you, thank you. Okay, fantastic. So what do I think? 15 quid? Not terrible. Weird with the gear sounds. Very strange. Not even a chirp, and that's a stock sound feature, so possibly something bugged there? Either way, very pretty little aeroplane. Flies lovely. Way more interesting aerodynamic characteristics than I might have expected. Although even £15 definitely does lack as many features as it could have. I've seen aircraft for cost about the same, have way more on them, so swings and roundabouts. If you like vintage, not bad. Bye.